Every decision we make sends ripples into our future. Some decisions are small, like what are we going to eat for breakfast? Others are life-changing. As we grow older, we begin to see the full impact of our decisions, the rewards of self-control, and the consequences of unchecked actions. I speak from a woman's perspective, from a mother's heart. For so many years, my children were my world, and I was theirs. When they were little, I made every decision. I chose their clothes, packed their lunches, picked out their birthday gifts, decided where we went, what we ate, and how much we were going to spend. I was their protector, their guide, their everything. Then they became teenagers. They pushed boundaries. I was still in charge, still the one setting the rules, deciding where they went, who they spent time with, and shaping their future. Even when they pulled away, I was still the one they needed. But then they got married, and suddenly everything changed. The little hands that once reached out to mine no longer needed to hold on to. The little voice that once called for mommy now called someone else their closest person. The decisions I made were no longer mine to make. I started to feel myself fading into the background. No longer the matriarch, no longer the center of their lives, the center of their world. It's quite the heartache that many of us mothers feel, but rarely speak about. That moment when we realize we are no longer the leading role in their lives, but just part of the audience. And it hurts. Hi, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about how we're going to handle this transition that will shape the legacy that we leave behind. Will we hold back too tightly and cause tension? Or will we gracefully step back, allowing love, peace to take root in our families? When our kids become adults and the dynamic changes, that's what we will explore today. As an over 50 mother and grandmother, I look back and see how my uncontrolled emotions, impulsive words, and poor communication have impacted my relationships. Many of us have built stable lives. We have homes and careers and financial security, but the emotional unrest still lingers. Why? Because peace does not come from what we own. Peace comes from how we relate to those around us. Looking back, we don't always know better. As mothers, we held so much power in our children's lives, making choices for them, setting the rules, and enforcing discipline, believing we knew best. We shaped their world, their beliefs, their future, and in doing so, we may have overstepped, mistaking control for guidance and authority for love. But now, with wisdom and time, we see things differently. We realize that true love is not about holding on. It's about knowing when to let go. Our children are no longer little. They are adults with their own choices, their own families, and their own boundaries. And just as how we once guided them, we must now have the wisdom to step back. Because in the end, what truly matters is not power or control, but the legacy of love, respect, and the peace we leave behind. For some of us, with the queen bee complex, letting go of the control we once had can be challenging. As matriarchs, we were the center of our families. Our children needed us for everything, whether it was to guide them, make decisions, or solve problems. And it felt good. It gave us purpose, and we were proud of it. But now our children are grown. They have their own spouses, their homes, and their children. They have become independent. They no longer need us as they used to. And for some of us, that's a hard pill to swallow. As they step into their roles as spouses and parents and leaders in their own homes, we can feel like we're losing control, like we're losing our place. Some of us want to still hold on to the queen bee in the family, the one who everyone turns to. And now, when our children, who have become firm, independent, and authoritative, they assert their authority in our home, in their own homes, we take it the wrong way. We might feel even slighted, hurt, or resentful. When this happens, how do we respond? We lash out. We speak badly about them behind their backs. We withdraw emotionally or try to control the situation. This behavior stems from fear of losing our significance. But holding on too tightly, we may damage our relationships rather than nurturing them. It's crucial to understand that our roles have now shifted. Our children and their families need us to be supportive and not controlling. They need us to respect their boundaries, support their decisions, and love them without overstepping. When our children establish their boundaries, it's important to respond with maturity and respect. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 7 says, "There's a time to be silent and a time to speak." Grandchildren bring immense joy, but they are not ours to parent. They already have parents who are responsible for their upbringing. Our role is to love them, support them, and respect the authority of their parents. When we overstep, we risk creating division instead of harmony. Maturity is knowing when to step into a conversation and when to step away. If we want peace in our later years, we must learn to communicate respectively, listen actively, and allow our children to take charge in their own homes. It's important to remember, when we communicate with grace and maturity, we set an example for the future generation. They are watching us, and they learn how we manage our relationships. As we reach the sunset years of our lives, it's important to reflect on the legacy that we want to leave behind. We've seen the consequences of uncontrolled emotions and poor communication. Will our legacy be one of peace and maturity? Something our children and grandchildren will carry with them for generations to come. Bye for now.